What's up, guys? And happy 2019. I haven't done a video for a while here, but I'm back home in Arizona now. I was back at my parents' house over the holidays. Just no time to do anything. I was super busy with family and everything, and which was really nice. It's good to get back and see all my cousins and my mom and my dad and all them, of course. But that means I haven't had any time for YouTube. So now I'm back and I plan on starting to do videos again. And my first video that I'm going to do this year, it's not really like a game related video. I just thought I'd do something different. I want to tell you about my little road trip I took with my wife up to Page, Arizona this past weekend. And maybe show you a couple little clips of it too. Now, I live in the Phoenix area, Scottsdale specifically, but up near the border of Utah is a place I've never been before. So my wife just kind of grabbed me before the weekend started. She's like, hey, I want to go up to see this Antelope Canyon thing up here. I had never heard of it. I said, well, how far is it? So I'm kind of lazy. I don't like getting out of the house all that often. But she convinced me to go, and it's a far drive up there. I think it took us at least 4 or 5 hours driving to get up there. But it's almost a straight shot. You just take the Highway 17 up from Phoenix, and I think you get on maybe one other freeway after that. But you just go straight up north towards Utah, and right before the border there is a little town called Page, P-A-G-E. And it's up in the Indian country there. I actually didn't know what the place was like at all. But the whole area is just like compacted red sandstone. So it's kind of an interesting place just to see. And the first thing you see when you drive in there is just like these huge smokestacks coming from, it looks like a factory to me. I had no idea what they were doing there. But that's like the first thing you see when you come up. And there's also just like a small town there. And it's like a really small town. Page probably has, I don't even want to know. You drive in certain towns and they'll say like the population and when it was founded. Page just said the founding date and the elevation. So I have no idea how many people were in there. But it was a really small town. But surprisingly, it was actually kind of a tourist trap town too. We saw a lot of tourists there, especially like Chinese and Korean tourists, which I thought was kind of interesting. Because I don't know why, maybe it's not like a big thing for Americans to go see. I saw almost no American tourists up there. I was like the only one. But anyways, when we first got in there, we just stopped at a gas station to get gas, and I went inside, and they're selling all these kind of like odd little knickknacks. I think a lot of them were made in like the Indian communities there. And this is actually the only kind of game-related stuff we found there. I actually found a Mega Man E-Tank here. I don't know if you could see that. So I thought it'd be fun to put on my game shelf here. I could just stick it there for fun. And I also found something that I've never seen before, is a Resident Evil T-Virus energy drink. So these are obviously just like Red Bulls or something, but I thought it'd be fun to grab them. Just because I would never have expected to see like game-related merchandise in a little gas station in this tiny town I went up to see. And I also found some kind of funny drinks there. We got Stalinade, the real red soda. I don't know why, I just love this kind of bad humor stuff. Oh, and we got Nuclear Orange Bomb with a terrorizing taste with Kim Jong-un there, your favorite. And I just grabbed all these sodas here, and my wife grabbed some root beers and stuff too. She's a root beer fan. It's just a funny little side story. Anyways, stuff to see there. We got in, we got our hotel and everything, and it was kind of almost getting dark when we finally got into town. So we went to see this thing called Horseshoe Bend, I think it was called, which is just like a huge canyon. It was kind of like a swooping canyon with a little water down at the bottom. We couldn't actually see it that night. We had to wait and go the next morning because they were just closing up. But just driving by on the highway, you would not even know this thing was there. That's what I thought was kind of strange. There was like no signs for it almost. We saw like one sign kind of down the road from it, but the place where you actually turn off the highway to get in was almost unmarked. I think they're maybe doing construction on it right now, and maybe that's why it was just kind of hard to see. But you would never even know it's there just from the highway. You go over to the parking area, and then you kind of go over this little hill, and then there's this huge canyon right there, which was actually really cool. I'll show you some videos of it if I can. And so that was probably one of the more interesting things I saw there. Another thing we saw was I forgot to mention the power plant, the huge smokestacks I saw when I first came into the town. It turns out that's like a coal-burning power plant. And it was kind of interesting just to see that, because apparently they're going to just close it next year. And then they're going to have their power coming from like little, I guess almost like modular generators or something running on natural gas. So I don't know how that's going to work exactly. The guy was just kind of explaining to me at the gas station actually. And the other thing they have though is this huge dam there. I wouldn't say it's as big as Hoover Dam, but it was pretty darn big. And I think that's another way they get their power for the area. We took some good photos there too, and just kind of walked around and checked stuff out. So the main reason we went there was to see this Antelope Canyon, right? And that's what my wife was originally wanting to go to this place for. So the next day after we got there, after we went and saw the Horseshoe Bend, we went and saw the dam, and then we went to try to find this Antelope Canyon. And it was down like another freeway, and we're just driving along. It looks like you're just in the middle of nowhere. And we finally found the place, and we kind of expected it to be like a national park kind of thing, where you can just go right in and check the place out. And it turned out not to be that way, because apparently this thing's all on Indian land up there. So what they do there is they don't even let you on the land at all unless you pay for a tour. And the tour, from what I understood, is like 90 minutes. They just kind of take you down like a little 10-minute drive in a bus or something, and then they show you the place around in like groups of, I think she said like 40 people on each tour, and they do like 8 to 10 tours a day. But when we got there, we were like, okay, how much is this tour? And it was gonna be $60 a person. And I just looked at my wife, I'm like, I don't want to pay $120 for a 90-minute tour of this thing. I'd rather just go someplace else and see another site for free. So my wife, she's cheap too. She didn't want to go see it either after that. So unfortunately, I don't have any video of Antelope Canyon for you to see. But if you do ever go up to Page, you want to see this Antelope Canyon, just be aware it's going to cost you, especially if you have like a family of 4 or something. It's going to cost you over $200 to go see this thing. And they have a couple different areas for it too. They have a lower Antelope Canyon and an upper Antelope Canyon. And I guess you see different things in the thing, but you got to pay twice to see each one. So we kind of skipped that area. I don't say it's like a ripoff, because I can't, it might be amazing. I don't know. I've just seen like pictures on the internet of it. But we were just perfectly happy to go up there and see everything else. You know, we just kind of drove around the area. They also have a big kind of a lake and a river kind of thing, and it's right on the border of Utah. It actually goes up into Utah too. And it's kind of interesting because, you know, normally all around the area is just like bright red sandstone, but along the river it's got, you know, deposits on it and stuff. So the whole rock around the river is just white. So it's kind of a weird thing to see. And if you're really organized, you can actually take this river up into Utah, and they have just like a whole bunch of different stuff you can see that's just, you know, completely far away from any kind of roads and stuff too. They have this thing called the Rainbow Arch that we wanted to go see, until we found out that you need to get a boat and go up there, and then it's like 2 hours hike to get to this thing. You know, we were just not prepared for that kind of venture this weekend. But it's one of these really cool formations where you got this huge rock. Well, it looks like a rainbow, and it goes, you know, from the ground to up the cliff above. And apparently it's really cool, but we didn't get to see that either. But we did find some just good sights to see around the area. So if you're ever in the area, I wouldn't recommend it really to, like, you know, go out of your way in, but it's cool to see. What I do recommend, if you do come to Arizona, you definitely want to see the Grand Canyon, because that is something that is really amazing. And we ended up actually stopping by that on the way back home on Sunday. And it was really interesting. I've only been in there a few times, and never in the winter time. And this was actually the first time I saw snow up there. Like, there was actually about a foot of snow all over the top of the canyon. Not inside the canyon, maybe a little bit inside the canyon, but mostly just on top. It was really interesting. So I hopefully get some videos of that to show you too. And it was cold there too. It was super cold. I guess it must be higher in elevation than the rest of the area. And one nice thing about this little government shutdown we're having, we were driving up to the gate where they, you know, have their ticket booth and everything to let people in to the park. And we were like, oh man, this is gonna cost us, you know, $35 or whatever. Why do they keep trying to charge us money? And you know, we were gonna pay it. It was $35, so a lot better than $120. But when we got there, the lady's like, "Hi, due to the government shutdown, we will not be charging you to go to the park, but here is a map of the park for you." And she was a weird, like, robot lady. She must have been saying that phrase the whole day or something to people. Anyways, so we got it for free, which is nice. Thank you, Trump. And Pelosi, thank you, Pelosi. And we ended up just having a blast in the park. We got some ice cream up there. We were just freezing our bones off and running around in the snow. So it was pretty good times. And we finally got home like late that night, because it is a brutal drive. I was exhausted when we got home. But definitely a good road trip. And if you go through Flagstaff there, I think we didn't really stop in Flagstaff either. We just kind of drove through it. But I've heard there's some kind of cool things to see there too. But maybe that's the trip for next time. I don't know. We'll see. So anyways, that's all I want to tell you about the little trip, and I will get back to doing some gaming videos soon too. That's what I really have fun doing, and probably some car videos too. You know, I'm not really serious about this channel. I'm just having fun doing various videos. I'm not trying to get a bunch of viewers or anything. But I hope you enjoy this, and I will see you guys next time. And hey, leave a comment. You know, I'll talk to you guys too if you just leave me a comment. All right, see you next time.